What it means to me is just doing something that I've never done before, which is basically tell my story. And I've never really let people in to this part of my life, so people only know what they think they know, but I've never actually opened up to people before. So that's what this documentary is to me. It's just a chance for me to let people in and give them the opportunity to get to know the real me. So the message that I want to get across is that if you don't understand someone's perspective, then you really should not judge them. And so what I mean by that is people like us, like a lot of people have their assumptions of what it's like to live, to go through the motions and the ins and outs and the daily life of just being someone like me, but they don't really know. They don't know, so they don't understand. So I want to give them my perspective and share other people's perspective so that they get more of a realistic idea of what it's really, really like just to live one day in the life of like someone like me. One of the most difficult obstacles that I've faced is being homeless, I guess you can say. I've never had to deal with anything like that in my life before. Like I've always at least had somewhere to live and not had to worry about where I'm sleeping that night. But after moving here, there was a time when I was homeless. I just didn't know where I was going to sleep that night. I had nowhere to go. I was completely displaced, and that was challenging for me. First of all, having to humble myself to the point where I was able to even tell myself, okay, listen, you're homeless, and now you have to deal with that. You have to figure out a way to get out of this situation. And that was the most challenging thing that I think I've had to do so far in my life. What ultimately made me decide to move to Canada was actually Michael. And I hate saying that because I don't like to give Michael too much props. But I never even knew that it was a possibility to move to another country, based on the fact that you couldn't live your true and authentic life somewhere else. I just didn't know that it even existed. So when Michael told me about it, I started doing some research, and I was like, you know what? Michael's younger than me, far less attractive than I am. So if he can do it, then I should be able to do it too. So, that just goes to show that it doesn't matter how old someone is, they can still be an inspiration to you. And so, yeah, Michael was my inspiration. If it wasn't for Michael, I wouldn't be here today. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. My advice to them would be just educate yourself. If you have to ask questions, but ask the right people and ask for the right reasons. Don't move here thinking that it's going to be a piece of cake or that you're coming here to live some fancy North American life, because it's not like that, at least not at first. You are basically starting your life over from scratch, and that's not easy because that's not something any of us really had to do. We were just born into families that already kind of had things set up for us, so having to do all of that footwork by yourself, especially as an adult, it's difficult. And you're an immigrant, you're not straight, so you're already considered like a minority. So it's just hard to acclimate yourself, and it's not as nice as it looks. So my advice is just educate yourself so that you can be better prepared to handle what's coming your way, because it's not easy at all. Not easy. I actually do have regrets, sad to say. I think the only regret that I have is that that I waited so long to make the decision that I made. I guess that's my fault because I just was ignorant and I just didn't know that I could have done it. If I could have done it sooner, I would have, because then I wouldn't have missed out on so much of the things that I didn't want to miss out on. For example, since being here, like I've lost like 5 or 6 relatives that I couldn't go back home to be there for the funeral. I just couldn't be there for them. And like that's something that's very hard for me to deal with. Like I'm gonna start crying. Like y'all need to give me a tissue or something. So like no, I'm good. So that's the only regret that I have, is that I waited so long to make that decision, and then having to put my family back home through, you know, that period of separation. I know it's not easy for them either. But other than that, I'm happy with the decision that I made, because I know in the long run it's gonna be better for me and for them. My response is, why would anybody choose this lifestyle? Like, not that I'm ashamed of it or embarrassed of it, but if you look at the things that people like us face on a daily basis, why would someone deliberately choose that? It's not a choice, because if I had a choice, I would have chosen the easier route. And nowadays, the easier route is to just be straight. That's just easier, you know? It's hard to live this life because, you know, you feel like an outcast. People judge you constantly. People look at you a certain way. They make assumptions about your lifestyle and what you do, what you don't do. You feel like you don't fit into mainstream society. And you just always have to explain yourself. I don't know why would anyone choose a lifestyle that has to be a conversation. No one wants to talk about that. I'm not gonna come up to you and say, explain to me why you're straight. It shouldn't be a conversation. Transgendered people don't choose to be killed in the streets like dogs. That's not a choice that people make. People just choose to be themselves and to do what makes them happy. And that's what it is. So my response to that is, stop being stupid, stop being ignorant. Because if I had a choice, I would just choose to be normal and boring like the rest of you. Advice for the younger generation is, don't wait. If you feel like there's something that you should be doing that's gonna make you genuinely happy, then do it. Don't say, I'm gonna wait until I'm 30, or I'm gonna wait until I have more money, because that day might never come. Do it now. You know, because you don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to look back, you know, you're 30 and you're saying, I should have done this when I was 20, because you could have. So my advice is to just do what you feel makes you happy, and don't put it off for something that might never happen. Just do it while you can. The easiest part of moving to Canada was buying the plane ticket. That was the easy part. Everything else after that for me was just hard. It was hard for me. And I know Michael said it was easier for him. I'm happy for you. But it was just hard for me. So the easiest thing for me was just buying the plane ticket. That was the easy part. The hardest part for me personally was leaving my family behind. Because even though a lot of them didn't accept me for who I was, at least I knew I was surrounded by people who actually loved me. And then coming here and having to start over, you just never know. You know, you meet all these people at work and wherever, and you just like, these people don't have any loyalty to me. They don't know who I really am. You know, they just they met me at this point in my life. You know what I mean? So the hardest part for me was everything else, if that makes sense. That's kind of vague, but I don't know how to say it more specifically. I want people to know that I am not as... Okay, I put this image out there to people that I'm so hard, or like I don't have emotions, or I don't care about anything. But I just do that to protect myself from people hurting me. Kind of put that barrier up to kind of keep people at arm's length, because I feel like if I don't let you in, then you can't hurt me, kind of thing. So what I want people to know about me is that I actually am a nice person, and I have a big heart. I care about people, and I accept everybody. And if I consider you a friend, or even a friend of a friend, I don't know, there isn't anything that I would not do to see someone else happy. The term people like us, what it means to me is more than just people a part of the LGBTQ, ABCDEFG community, because y'all be doing too much. It means more than that to me. It means people who just want to live their true, authentic lives. So whatever that means to you, if you feel like you need to move to another country, another city, move to another house, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to make sure that you are happy, then I consider you someone like me too. I also want to let the world know that we're people too. You know, we don't want to have to call ourselves people like us. We just want to be people, you know. And to me, it's just sad that we even have to have these conversations, because we just shouldn't have to have conversations where we feel so segregated. You know what I mean? Like someone said to me the other day, why do gay people need a parade? Like, why do you people need to have, you know, a pride parade? And I'm like, well, you're straight, so you don't understand. You know, like, just be glad that you don't have to have a parade. Like, we have to do this just to bring some awareness to the world, just so we can feel included. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to do that. So don't be mad that we do this. Just be glad that you don't have to. I'm excited about this mini docuseries. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have other people share their stories so that you can hear the different perspectives, because we all might go through the same thing, but our perspectives are completely different. So I'm excited for people to learn things that I wish I had learned sooner. And yeah, I'm just happy to finally be putting myself out there. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm not embarrassed. You know, I am who I am, period.